What's good, YouTube? It's Ray Jarrell. So today's video, I want to show you guys how to run this tight double scheme in Madden 24. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So I am in the Steelers offensive playbook. Again, I'm in the Steelers offensive playbook. Now I pray you guys are having a great day. So this scheme actually is very great versus man coverage, and when your opponent starts to try to run zone coverage, trying to guard tight doubles, that's when this offense is going to be even more explosive. So I'm gonna kind of stay on the man side, but I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna cook up some zone beaters basically, and also I do have some gameplay. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stick to the end of the video and you'll be able to see how all this is schemed together inside of a gameplay. So without further ado, man, I want to go ahead and dive into this. So as far as personnel, it's going to be self-explanatory. You just want your best 3 receivers out there. Now, personally right here, I like to have my number 1 receiver. It helps out a lot, but it's not necessary. So normally I'll put my number 2 here, and I have my number 3 right here. So just your speedster style receiver right there. So that's that's pretty much it for personnel. Now, as far as audibles, I love to have shot, fade, cross. Then I love to keep base. We have bench right here, and then PA wide receiver cross. Now, I also do like to substitute bench every so often for this Z spot right here. So I like to just kind of, sometimes I may put Z spot, sometimes I may put bench, and I may, call either one. So it really just depends. Now, the play that I'm going to be coming out in is going to be this cross wheels. But before I come out in this play, I want to show you something. So you want to actually go to this pistol wire off trips right here, and I love to actually throw in my audibles. I love to put halfback zone weak, RPO, counter Y, and PA boot slide. So you might be wondering why, and I'm going to show you here in a second why. Because basically, you're going to see me do it in the gameplay, but I love to do this inside the red zone. But you don't need to be inside the red zone or audible to this formation. It just has a lot more better run plays, and it's a really good formation, to be honest with you. I may end up doing a video on it, haven't decided yet. Now, I am going to be doing current gen content soon. I do plan on uploading the next video or the video after that, because I have been asked a lot about current gen, or old gen as you guys might like to call it. So don't worry, I got y'all on that. And if you ever want me to do a video on anything, just comment, maybe message me on social media. All that is in the description. And if you want any ebooks made, just go to my website, and then you can request me to make any ebook that you want. So make sure you are utilizing that. So I'm be taking you through basic coverages. So man coverage, man blitz, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4 drop. And I did ask to get some zones, I did ask if I can mention some match coverage, so I will be doing that out of just nickel over, and I'll just be going over typical match coverage that you guys will see. So I won't do every setup like that, but I'll just show you guys some of the setups and how they work versus match. So without further ado, let's go and dive into this. So first and foremost, I want to show you a nice cover 3 beater. All we need to do is just take our square receiver, motion them out, put them on a comeback route, take X, put them on the street, and then take R1, put them on a curl. So I love to run it like this, or if they're blitzing me, or if I feel like a heavy zone blitz is coming, I'll take triangle, put them on a comeback, hitch, and I'll take R1 and block them. So if I feel like I'm getting a heavy zone blitz, or basically heavy zone blitz, I'll do this way. But if I'm not, then I'll set it up just like this. Alright, so all you're going to need is time in the pocket, obviously, but all you want to do is wait for circle to clear, and then as you can tell, we're going to have them open basically for a one-play touchdown every single time, as long as they're playing normal cover 3. Now, if they deep half that corner, then of course they're going to play it. But if they deep half that corner, that's when I'll start running that bench play and really start exposing them on the sideline. So it's cool how it all schemes together. But anyways, your read progressions on this play is going to be, you want to read this drag first. Normally, this is always going to be open. You need to take the underneath when you run this offense. Second read is going to be the running back, but normally your user will actually be here. So we're going to read the user from this route to this route right here. Now, normally your user is going to see the safety like this, and normally they'll see the cornerback over the top. So normally the user won't follow this the whole way through. Normally they'll actually pull up and actually go cover the running back. But if they don't, then we're going to have an easy one-play touchdown because of how cover 3 corners play comeback routes this year. That is why it gets open, okay? Now, we also can run this versus cover 4 drop, which I forgot to throw on the audible, so we're going to go ahead and go do that real quick. So let's go ahead and we're going to take out cover 3, and we're going to put cover 4 drop, and then we're going to come out in cover 3, so that way we can have more options. So, and remember, the play we're going to come out in is cross wheels, all right? So, we'll go to cover 4 drop because I want to show you how it works versus cover 4 drop. We actually can still potentially have a one-play touchdown. We're just going to need a little bit of time in the pocket. So again, the same exact setup, but you're just going to have to wait a little longer. You got to buy a little more time. And of course, when I try to show you, they do that. But it all depends on that cover 4 corner, how they play over there. Sometimes they will pull down, sometimes they don't. It's about a 50-50 shot, what I recognize. So notice how he pulls down, but in this way he does drive forward. I think he ended up getting rerouted or something here. Let's see. Yeah, so he gets rerouted. I know it's slight that you can tell, but he takes it underneath. Normally they go over the top. So if he would have went over the top, I know it may not seem like much, but the spacing would be a lot better, and then you'd be able to get a clear throw, which I'll go ahead and show you that here in a second. So let's rerun this again. And like I said, this isn't something that's just automatic. Now, if they are running cover 4 drop, I would recommend you to do these couple other plays that you're about to see me do. But if you want to try to take the top off, you have a chance. And there is another play actually that I want to show you guys that is going to be able to get open a lot easier with. But anyways, that's for, I love this versus cover 3, and I love this versus cover 2, and I love this versus man. So let's talk about this versus cover 2 so you can see. So with cover 2, there's a slightly different variation I like to do. I like to take triangle, put them on a streak, and then I like to take R1, put them on a curl, and then I like to take circle, motion them out. So this setup right here is going to destroy cover 2. Basically, we're going to make a read between X, square, and then we're going to read the running back, or we can hit circle over the middle if the user is not there for whatever reason. So we'll try to step up by time, and that's going to be one of your main reads you can make versus cover 2, and it's all going to depend on whether they're zone dropping or not. All right, so basically your user is going to be somewhere up in here because they're going to be tired of you throwing this little post route right here. And this is what I was telling you, that if you want to wait half a second, you could throw this ball right here and let it and kind of get a little possession catch. But normally your user will be up here. Now, if you're getting zone blitz, maybe cover 2 blitz, then you can actually throw this ball right now. If they're playing any type of zone drops, they're going to be backing up, and you're going to have this throw wide open on the sidelines. Just by play design, it's going to be wide open. And of course, if you need to block your running back, you could technically block them, but I like to keep the user honest and keep the running back right here in the middle. So we really have a 2-way read, almost a 3-way for cover 2. We're going to look underneath, or we could look slightly over the top of that cloud, or we could hit them right in the middle. So we just give them way too much to worry about when it comes to cover 2. So that's why it's my favorite versus cover 2. All right, so man coverage is very self-explanatory with this play. You could technically run this play stock if you want to. There's not really much you can do with this. Only thing I would do is motion this guy out. And yes, he will get pressed a little bit, but the spacing will be good between all of our routes. Now, if you're running this play, I like to read the tight end first, then my drag, and I like to peek to see if he'll win. Most of the time he doesn't for some reason, but on the times he do, I like to peep it. And then lastly, circle is going to be your read. So it all just depends on who you see get a win. So notice how right there with circle, we notice that he gets the win animation. So we are going to be able to hit the nice little read right there. So I mean, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory with this play. You're basically just picking to see where the user is going to go and then just going with it. And a lot of times the user will actually be heavy on this drag route a lot of times. And that'll give us this little clear little middle way. And it's just a good read to make, just to see if you get a win here, or if you get a win here, or if you get a win on one of your drag routes. So very, very simple with that play. So that's everything I love to do out of that play. Now, shot, fade, cross. I love this play versus man coverage. It works versus match coverage as well too. But I love it versus man. All you want to do is take X, put him on a drag. And I'm not going to show you versus cover 3, cover 2, because I'll show you versus cover 2. Actually, I'll show you versus man first, and I'll come back to cover 2 because there is another cover 2 setup I like. Now, if they are man blitzing you, this is still good because we're going to be blocking 6 people still. I never want to max pro against anything, honestly. So I don't recommend you ever max proing. Now, only adjustment I like to make is either motion that guy out, but you don't have to, all right? So X on the drag, motion that guy out if you want to, and then basically we're just going to read between drag, and then you're going to have circle, and then of course, you know, I'm playing all Madden practice mode, so I'm just not going to have time to throw that kind of read. But anyways, you guys see right here, so again, we got the drag, and then up top is going to be the read on that one, and we're just giving the user too much to worry about. This route right here by triangle is very, very good against man coverage, very good. You're going to notice that this guy, let's go back to shot, fade, cross. This guy right here wins a lot of times in man coverage. So now the cover 2 version of this, I'm going to move the ball to this left hash over here. You typically want to run this with your 2 receivers to the wide side. And again, it's similar. It's very, very similar to the other play that I just showed you. Let me throw this ball out because I want to be able to show you guys a play art. So with this one, it works specifically for cover 2. Let me go to cover 2 right here. Here we go. Now, this one works similarly to how the other play did versus cover 2. We're going to take triangle. We're going to put them on a streak. We're going to motion out square. We're going to take X, put them on a drag, R1 on a curl. So it's basically almost the same, essentially, except for now we're really going to be stressing out square, basically. So because of play design, he'll always take an outside pass. Excuse me, he'll always take an outside release whenever he's getting off the line, which is going to help us out tremendously. Now, this is if they're playing press. So I love this whenever they're playing just stop cover 2 where they're pressing me. I'll actually come to this one instead, just because he's going to naturally every single time take an outside release every time, which means that this streak right here is going to force the safety to stay still, and we're going to have a natural throw to this sideline, which is why I love this. And also I love this too because since this is a different route, he's going to be able to get into it a lot faster, and we'll be able to threaten our user in the middle right here. So that's why I like this one a tad bit better versus cover 2. But anyways, moving forward, Z-Spot, there's a lot of different setups I like with Z-Spot. And again, if you want an ebook on this, I go way more in detail, way more in depth, give you way more setups, you know, just because it's an ebook. So anyways, what I like to do is take X, put them on a circle on the streak, take X, smart route his route. Notice how X is ran a lot deeper. And then either A, I'll run it like this, or B, sometimes I'll go ahead and motion him out to make my opponent think I'm running my other play. And this is just basically your typical zone. You want to look for R1, then X, and then square, of course. And most of the time when you call this, you want to look to dump it right in that flat. So you want to force the user to have to play hard flats. And I love running this when I start noticing they're playing zone drop with hard flats a lot. Then I'll start running this because what'll happen is you'll actually get this tight end open very, very easily for an easy throw, especially if they start playing underneath. And I like to motion out our dig route because what happens is when you motion them out, it allows the hook zone more time to actually squeeze down on the hooks, on the hitch, excuse me, and that's what's going to open up our dig route in the middle. So just, you know, basic concepts, but they work very, very well. So anyways, last one is PA wide receiver cross, and on this one, very simple. I just like to take X, put them on a drag, and R1 on a curl. Take circle, put them on a streak, and I love this versus every single, basically zone coverage is going to work well, but I love it more versus man coverage, honestly. So you're just basically going to look for your double drag concept, but in man coverage, it's really, really great, and I'll show you why here in a second. So if they run man, then we can, this route right here is actually really good at cooking man coverage. So it's more so, I run this play more so in man. I more so run it this way, where I actually leave the play action. If they're running man, you know, let the play action happen. A lot of times you want to look for triangle, but square normally going to do a great job of getting a win animation just because of the route design by that one. So real quick, I'll show you how triangle wins, and I'll show you my favorite one setup versus match, and then we'll kind of just keep going anyways. But this little route right here, I know it didn't look like it's good, but if they don't have a safety over the top, sometimes you can get you a one play touchdown depending on who you have running that route. So anyways, real quick, I just want to take you through one setup that you can run versus any match coverage, just to give you an example, because I was asked if I can go over match coverage, so I don't mind for y'all. So we got cover 4 quarters, cover 6, and cover 9, so we'll come out and cover 4 palms, so you can kind of get the idea of why I like this play. And the good thing is that the setup's not going to change, and I've already given y'all this setup, so it's going to be out of cross wheels. We're literally going to do the same exact setup I told you about. So square on the comeback route. We're going to take X, put him on a streak, R1 on a curl. So R1 is on the curl. He's not on the wheel route. So anyways, hopefully I get enough time in the pocket to be able to show you. I'm going to try to hold on to the ball, hold on to it, and then we'll actually take the sack. And we'll be able to show you why this works. So basically, no matter what, like I told you, read progressions never change. We're going to look to throw this drag every time. The actual quarter flat normally gets a little glitched out from this streak by the tight end, and that's what's going to allow this drag to get open. And the running back's going to be normally guarded by the user, and this is going to be the game you play. So you're either going to throw it in this window, or you're going to throw it right here every single time, no matter which match coverage it is. And normally you'll always have the option as well to throw this comeback route. So you have a lot of options to be able to play with. So that was against cover 4 palms. This is cover 4 quarters. I know they look the same. You just got to trust that I actually chose cover 4 quarters. All right, X on the streak, triangle on the drag, R1 on the curl. Here we go. And I will go ahead and show you the circle route because it's what you really want to read. You want to throw that And then you want to get a nice possession catch. Now, normally you will be able to catch it and get an easy possession catch, but even if you don't, you really want to hit that drag route. But I promise you, you're going to get that possession catch. So cover 6, just being honest with you, you're going to be able to destroy literally using this one setup, and there's just nothing that the user could do. You got triangle, and then of course, like I said, you'll have circle pretty much every single time in that gap. And like I said, it just doesn't change. You know, I don't know how else to put it, but anyways, you guys get the point of this. I don't want to keep running this, so I'll just run cover 9, even though nobody ever runs cover 9. I just want to show you that most of these setups that I give you guys, you can call them versus match coverage. Even if I don't show a video on it, this is why I normally don't, because we're already 15 minutes into the video and I haven't even gotten the gameplay yet, so I really don't like doing that. So that's why I encourage you guys, hey, when I give you these setups, go ahead and try them yourself versus match. See which ones you like, see which ones you don't like, because we'll always have a read open because we're targeting every area to fill with our route concepts. So this is right here. So for example, I would have just took my drag, and the user would have no choice but to give it up because he would have had to guard this, or he would have got tired of me throwing this route and he would have just sat right there. And also, in this case, I couldn't throw the comeback because I see a cover 2 cloud, so that's fine. So I would just make my reads between here and possibly here if they don't, do this little run into each other animation. But anyways, with all that out the way, man, let's go in and dive right into this gameplay. All right, so right here, my opponent did actually start off by scoring, and this is, my kickoff, getting my first possession on offense, trying to make something happen, literally just running. I got stripped fumble, so I could have sworn for sure he got the ball, but we ended up getting the ball back. So right here, this is the cross wheels setup that I told you guys about. All we're going to do is just motion them out. I believe I actually didn't have enough time, so I just left square on the street because you can run it that way too. And again, there goes that drag route. You guys are going to start noticing that with this offense. I'm telling you, you have to take your check downs. I know some of you guys want to just try to go for the bomb, go for the cover 3 bomb or go for the man coverage beater. You got to be able to take your check downs. You got to force your opponent to have to put flats out there or make your opponent worry about, underneath. So also another thing I want to mention too is that when you run this offense, really this year in Madden, you really should be stepping up in the pocket when you throw the ball. This year they just don't reward you that much for dropping further back in the pocket. They kind of started tightening up on that as far as, the wild animations they give. Right here, this is the bench play. All I did was take my solo receiver, put him on a streak, took my outside receiver, put him on a hitch, and then we're going to actually take our running back, put him on a swing route to the right, or out to the right, and then we're just going to motion out that outside receiver just to create a little flood concept over there. And I wanted triangle. I didn't feel comfortable doing it. So right here, this is the fade shot play. All I did was take X, put him on a drag, streak triangle, and then right here I'm just looking to see if he's any type of zone. I seen triangle. I seen the way the safety left, so I thought maybe we had a little he had a breakdown in coverage, but thankfully, we just didn't throw a pick. So sometimes you got to test the waters, though, man. Especially since it's first quarter. Go ahead and test it out and see. So right here, this is the crossfades. And I really love this setup. It's just a good setup in general. Notice where the user is, right? You see how the user started going underneath. When your user starts trying to follow drag routes, a lot of times that means that they don't really know how to stop it, basically. So I know it sounds simple saying stop drag routes, but most people don't want to play hard flats, and I don't blame them in a sense. But if they're going to give it to us, we're going to take it. And right there, he played man, was expecting zone. So great job by my opponent switching it up. And so right here, this is the shot fades play. And again, had to step up in the pocket, and as long as you step up in the pocket, it's going to allow your receivers to have more time to get open. So right here is the Z spot play. This is kind of one of my favorite red zone setups. I know it looks simple, but it's really effective for just kind of dumping it down the flats. And my opponent is not wanting to play hard flats. Now we were I can't talk on the next drive we did get on defense, but I like to show you guys anytime we get turnover, just so you can understand how the flow of the game's going. And we do get the ball back right there. And if you guys want the defensive ebook, it's on my website, allthingsmadden.com. And it's the only defense I use on the gameplay, basically. I mean, I have a couple I made audible to if somebody's giving me that much trouble, but most of the time the nickel 3-3 is just going to be fine. So it really is an effective defense, y'all. I know, like I said, I know I might be biased, but I'm here for real with y'all. But anyways, this is another thing you can do. You can motion out your tight end and maybe put them on other routes. So I motioned him out, put him on a zig just to kind of get another man beater option if he played man. But I'm really looking between my running back and the tight end, but I just didn't have enough time right there. So but I did see something I liked. So he was playing cover 2 on that right side. And again, if you guys remember, this is the cover 2 beater that you can do. So I was wanting to see if he was going to stay in cover 2 or if he switched it. But I seen the safety go out there, so I wanted to kind of test it to see if we can get the win. But that was my fault. I think I probably could have highballed it and got that, but I didn't highball it. So make sure you guys are utilizing your high ball. So right here, I'm glad I put the running back on a little out route to the other side because he just had literally nobody. I don't know who was responsible for that. Probably him more than likely, but we are able to move the chains. So that's why I don't like blocking my running back that much, because a lot of times you just miss out on stuff. So right there, that was completely my fault. Completely missed my read on circle. I just didn't trust it by the time I went back to it and see it, so I just kind of tried to throw it away, didn't get to throw it away. But it's fine because we do pick up a huge chunk of yardage, so now we're in third and manageable. So this is the Z-spot play I was telling you guys about. There's tons of setups you can do. This is the other setup. And right here, I just noticed his user got absolutely cooked. So don't know why he was trying to guard his user. I don't know why he was trying to, user guard a tight end. Don't really understand it. But, hey, right there, I actually had him again on X. But just ran out of time. I actually wasn't even looking that way. I just happened to see it as I was editing the video that I did have him. I was actually trying to throw the little corner out on the other side. But right there, like I said, I think he was just trying to guard the tight end the whole time, because I'm just now starting to realize that tight ends were open pretty much every single time. For whatever reason. And again, right here, we're kind of picking on him again, but I see that he had a linebacker on my wide receiver, so I had to take it. I know I did have him over there on the tight end, but I couldn't pass up an easy throw. Both of them really was easy throw, to be honest. But right here, we do got 1st and 10, and I was looking at circle the whole time, and thank goodness I don't know why they did it that way, because he did have him beat, but I thought I threw a pick, to be real, even though I had him beat. But thankfully we were able to complete it. And again, you guys can see why I said this offense is so effective. If you don't throw your drag routes, you're going to have a hard time with this offense. If you throw your drag routes, you throw your flat routes, this offense becomes extremely fun at that point. And it's going to force your opponent to want to say, you know what, I'm going to go all out man coverage. And when they go all out man coverage, this formation is just great at beating man coverage, honestly. So right here, like I said, I like to show y'all the flow of the game. So it is going to be a 2nd and 10 for my opponent. And we get the instant pressure right there, which is going to force him to actually throw it hot. And then he's going to throw the pick. Like I said, I wouldn't lie to y'all. Like, a lot of times on defense, the opponent's just not going to have that much time to throw the ball just by play design. And right here, this is what I was telling you, that that play I picked right there, PA wide receiver shot, I think it's called PA wide receiver something, cross it might be. It's better versus zone than it is versus man coverage. So right here, this is the cover 3 beater, but it can beat cover 4 drop. It's just, I personally wouldn't call it versus cover 4 drop, but you could tell right there we did have circle. I tried to get enough time to throw it, but didn't have enough time. Now, I wouldn't recommend y'all to actually run the same play, same setup, 2 plays in a row. But I'm already up 14, so I was just kind of, it didn't really matter to me. But in actuality, I wouldn't do this. And right there, we do get rewarded for it. As I was telling you, that we just are going to have the nice completion. So the reason I love showing y'all gameplay too is because sometimes I know some of y'all might be like, well, that only works in practice mode. And this is why I like making my videos how I do it, because I show you in practice mode, then I go and show you in game. Now, just like I mentioned in practice mode, I love the audible to this formation, especially when I'm in the red zone, because if they're playing any type of zone, normally you're going to have that easy touchdown throw with your RPO. And if they're playing man, then I love those run plays because they are still good versus man coverage. So right here, I was looking at circle, but I thought I was throwing at the circle that play, but I just completely missed him. And it's because I was mainly staring at drag routes, because my opponent just couldn't guard him for whatever reason. Don't know why this man couldn't figure out how to put hard flats out there, or maybe he just didn't want to. And you'll notice that a lot of times, sometimes people are ignorant, meaning that sometimes people just don't want to change their ways, So that's why I love this offense, because it's going to make you pay for not changing how you play defense, basically. Because you can't really call one defense and guard everything from tight double, sadly. And most people will find out the hard way that you really can't do that. As you can tell, he is switching his defense, but he's switching it between man and this zone where they just don't play hard flats. So it's really just causing him a lot of confusion. And then there goes that route I was telling you guys about, that little in route type of thing. Is just very good versus man. Extremely hard to guard. I threw up the square. I don't know how he did not throw that pass. And, it's probably why Kenny Pickett's not going to be playing next year for them, So we'll have Russell Wilson next year if we use this, with their use this with the Steelers. But anyways, I wanted to throw square, just didn't trust it. And right here, basically it's going to be the last play. I had circle again, and I don't know. I think Kenny Pickett took the time off. But anyways, I just decided to kick the field goal just because why not? Just to get, over 30. I don't know. Sometimes I be doing stuff like that. But anyways, I just want to show y'all the last play of the game. And that's basically going to wrap it up for this video, though. But watch this, y'all. I kind of got cheated right? So I got the touchdown, basically. So I did the little journal. And apparently I went out at the 1. But anyways, it's all good. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, though. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.